It says I'm live. Am I live? Somebody tell me. Yeah. I'm on? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I run into some technical difficulties. I'm going to take these off. So here we are. Thank you for tuning in to PTPOP Live. I come to you tonight with all four lobes of my brain securely tied behind my back. And tonight, before I get started, I want to do some shameless self-promotion. Some of you may or may not know, whoever is watching, I am an author. Within the last couple of years, I have written 2 books. The first book I had out there, and still have out there on Amazon, is called Breathe, John Lennon, Conspiracy to Murder. This is a book of fiction, loosely based off of John Lennon's years touring with the Beatles and his time with Yoko Ono, and how he was desperate to elude fame, to elude the myth of the Beatles, and how he faked his own death. Could it be that the one thing in the 20th century, even the 21st century, that we all believe wholeheartedly was the one thing was a lie? John Lennon's still alive, somewhere living in Bermuda, perhaps. Maybe he's Yoko Ono's servant or maid behind closed doors. You never know. This is a book right now for sale on Amazon. I think it's $6.99 paperback, $4.99 ebook. It's a pretty good book. I mean, I just came up with this idea and it popped into my head and I thought, well, why not? You know, maybe he's really alive. Maybe he's running out there with Jim Morrison, you know. My most recent book, I just released this book a couple of weeks ago. This is called Small. And that's just the name of it, Small, by Peter Tompkins. And Small is a book about a guy who's just about to turn 50. He's 49, and the big 5-0 is right around the corner. And he recently lost his wife through divorce. He lost his job, was laid off, and he's had it. He's done with reality. He's sick of living as an adult and the pressures and the stress and the confusion of being an adult. And he desperately wants to go back to being a kid again. And he meets a young lady who helps him make a trip back to 1976, to when he was just playing baseball and he was just watching monster movies and eating pizza. And he gets to see his parents again and all his friends again. He goes back in time, 40 years to relive some of his childhood. And I got the idea for this book, and you can get this on Amazon. Just do a search for Peter Tompkins, Small. You'll find another author by the name of Peter Tompkins, but he writes books about plants. That's not me. I don't know anything about plants. But I got this idea because I'd run into a lot of people on the internet, on Facebook, guys that I played baseball with in the courtyard of the apartments we lived in for a couple of years in a small town I grew up in, east of Cleveland. And we all were like, wouldn't it be cool to go back those times, play baseball again? We all thought it'd be just like that movie Sandlot. And we can just, watch monster movies and play Army and hang out in the woods and go fossil hunting. And this is kind of where I got this idea. So this is kind of loosely autobiographical. Names and places have been changed to protect the innocent. But Small is a new book I've got out there on Amazon. Smiles, everybody. Isn't that a great cup? It was a vase or a vase for flowers. Turned into my coffee cup. When in doubt, talk like Ringo Starr. Hope you can hear that okay. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And tonight I invited you all here to see a review of my Taylor 310 6-string acoustic dreadnought guitar. And just so you know, this is not a paid endorsement. Taylor has no idea who I am in the world. I'm not famous. They didn't ask me to do this. They're not sponsoring this themselves. I'm doing it all on my own. And why do I want to tell you about my guitar? Well, number one, I believe this is like the 20th or 30th anniversary of this guitar. I can't remember how long it's been out. I think it's been out. I've had this guitar for 20 years. But I think it's been around for 30. And they just re-released it, I think. They had stopped producing it for about 15 years. And I wanted to tell you about this because when I was younger, I was playing a real low-end Yamaha guitar. It wasn't electrified, didn't have a pickup on it or anything. And this was a guitar that was basically like made from veneer and plywood, I think. And it had a real dull sound. The action was real high. It was difficult to play. And they had to put a pickup in the sound hole and plug it into a PA system, an amplifier. And a friend of mine said, well, you've got to get yourself a real guitar. And I was like, what's a real guitar? And he said, well, you know, a hardwood solid body acoustic guitar. And I'd never heard of these elusive creatures. I didn't know what he was talking about. He goes, there's guitars out there that are solid wood from top to bottom, back to front, and they have a tremendous sound. He said, try Martins, try Taylors. So I ran off to this local music store, and they had both Martins and they had Taylors. And I tried the Martins, and I really didn't like them. The neck seemed thicker this way. It seemed thicker this way, and it seemed thicker this way. And I've got pretty long fingers, pretty slender fingers, good for playing piano or guitar. And I just didn't like the feel of the neck. I also felt that the Martins at the time felt muddy. It sounded muddy and had a more bass or a low end sound to it. But when I picked up this Taylor, this is a Taylor 310, I was just blown away. My hand felt nice around the neck. It's got a nice slim neck. I don't know if you can see, it's got a pretty slim neck. I recently had the neck readjusted and the guitar tuned up a bit, but it's got a real nice action. Action is the distance between the string and the fretboard. The higher the action, the higher it is off the fretboard, the harder it is to play. So the closer you can get the strings to the neck by adjusting the neck and the truss around the neck, and the easier it is to play, the less wear and tear you get in your fingers. So I just picked this up, and it was just an amazing sound. I think it has a really nice balanced sound. It just shines. Listen to that. Isn't that beautiful? I think the microphone's a little far away from it, but and I just was in love with it right away. And I wanted to tell you about this because there's a lot of people out there that say, well, I can't afford a guitar like that. I don't know. I really like my low end, whatever I'm playing, and it's really all I can afford. But the nice part about this is I wasn't making much money at the time, and I financed this. The store I worked with gave me a 6 month, same as cash. As long as you pay on it for 6 months and paid off, there's no interest. And if you pay it off in time, you're fine. You won't see any interest charges on it. This guitar was a $1,200 guitar. This is 20 years ago. I think I got it for $900. They gave me a few $100s off of it. It did not come with any electronics. It was complete straight acoustic guitar. I had a Fishman pickup, under saddle pickup put into it. I have a Fishman AG0-UKE passive. No, I'm sorry, not UKE. That's ukulele. I'm looking at the wrong one. But I got a Fishman under saddle pickup. This slides under here, goes under the saddle, which is where the strings back here rest on. And then you plug the guitar in here through the guitar strap. I call it guitar strap nut. I don't think that's technically the right term. I had to put in for $100. I think they charged me totally $99 for the pickup and $50 for the service. So I had to put in later because I was actually too cheap to buy the electronic version. This guitar, to give you a little bit of some of the specs off of it, it's a dreadnought, meaning it's a straight acoustic guitar with the hourglass shape. It doesn't have a cutaway. It's a solid body guitar, solid wood. The finish is natural. It's got a high gloss front, matte back and sides, so there's not really any gloss. It's a little bit shiny, but not much. It's just a real natural looking. And isn't that a beautiful? I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that a beautiful wood? I used to have a friend. He'd pull a guitar off the shelf. Hey, man, look at the wood on this, man. Look at the wood. Just look at the grain. It's gorgeous, And he'd go on and on about the wood. I didn't know what he's talking about. Now I see it. I'm like, oh, look at this isn't the most beautiful guitar. This is very plain guitar. It's very dull looking, but it has a nice sound. But I see guitars now, and I see the wood and the finish they put on some of these guitars is just amazing. But the back and the sides. So this is the back. These are the sides. Are sapele or sapele wood. The neck is mahogany with pearl dot inlays. And see here, the bridge. This is the bridge is ebony, and it's an ivory nut. This is the nut of the guitar where the strings rest as they come off the tuning machines. The tuning machines are Grovers, minor Grovers, and you can tell they're Grovers, at least on this guitar, because at one time Grover used to put their name. They'd have their name molded in the tuning machines. These are 18-to-1 ratios, and what an 18-to-1 ratio means is if you turn this 18 times, this post turns once, makes one full revolution of 360 degrees. 18, 1. And what that means is it gives you more precise tuning. It also is less likely to go out of tune. This guitar, I've had this for 20 years, rarely goes out of tune. I might have one string go out of tune after about 3 songs. And I think it's because it's a well-made guitar, it's handmade, it's made of solid wood, and the machines are just awesome. They're not the best machines in the world. You can go up to, I think, 22-to-1 and higher, I think. I don't know how high you can go, but I know you can go up to 22-to-1. And the more turns of your tuning machine, the more precise the tuning, less like the guitar is to go out of tune. The guitar also comes with a hard shell case, or at least it did 20 years ago. That's my case. It says Taylor Guitars on it. It's pretty standard for most Taylor guitars. And I think this is a really awesome guitar. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a Taylor. I think they have this out now on an anniversary special model for maybe $1,200. You can finance it. You're just going to be more inspired. You get a really good guitar. It's going to inspire you to play more songs. It's going to inspire you to practice more. It's going to make you feel good about what you're playing and what you're hearing. And you'll definitely, once you hear this and you're playing an old like $300 Yamaha, you're going to go, whoa. Now, there's some high-end Yamahas. I mean, if you like Yamaha, stick with Yamahas. I'm not putting Yamahas down. I've got one over here. It's Yamaha APX7. It's good for what I use it for, but it doesn't sound anything like this guitar. And the thing I love about this guitar, I mean, this is like Spinal Tap, but listen to the sustain. Can you hear the sustain? Listen to that, man. I didn't get that joke when I first heard saw the movie like when I was in college, because I really didn't play guitar much. But listen to that. That's the 12th fret, 3rd string. That's a G. Goes on and on and on. Listen to the sustain. It goes to 11. This beautiful sound. And this, listen to that. This rings out. So what I'm going to do is just play a few things on this to give you an idea of what this really sounds like. A little bit more coffee. See, it's just coffee. For those of you from high school watching this, say, I heard he's a drunk. I heard he's addicted to porn. There's no porn in here either. It's just coffee. There's nothing in the coffee. There's no vodka or anything. People from high school, aren't they fun? Yeah, they'll sell kinds of things that I think as you get older, you become like a gossipy, I don't want to be sexist, but you become like a gossipy old woman, regardless if you're a woman or a man. I've heard people say things about each other behind their backs in high school, or now, that was worse than what they said about each other in high school. This is just, I'm not going to sing, don't worry. Sounds great. I think it sounds amazing, you know. It's just a wonderful sound. And One thing I really like about this guitar is it's easy to play for finger picking as well, you know. Here, let's drop this down. Some of you Beatle fans might remember this one. This is great sound. It rings right out, you know. Just an awesome sound. And if you're into finger picking, this is a good guitar to have because it's easy to finger pick. It's an easy guitar to learn stuff like James Taylor. I'm a huge James Taylor fan. I just got to see James Taylor play about 3 summers ago at Blossom Music Center, and oh my God. Mexico or in my mind I've gone to Carolina. That's a little bit sharp there because of the capo. But you know, I would definitely look at getting a better guitar if you don't have one. Check out some of the local stores. You can finance them. I think you can finance them directly through Taylor. You're not going to get discounts from them. But, you know, find a local store, buy you a local privately owned one. I'm not going to put down any big box stores. It look like my smile. And that looks like me, yeah, bald and everything. Don't go to the big box stores because you're not going to get somebody who's going to know what they're talking about. There's a place, I don't want to give their name out because I don't like the people that work in there locally, but you won't regret it. You will wish you had gotten a new guitar, a nice guitar, a long time ago. You will say, why didn't I get this new guitar? What did I wait so long for? Have it. So, you know, I'm not knocking other guitar makers. This one has just been surprisingly a good guitar for me. It's been a wonderful guitar for me, and it's been very reliable. It's reliable, nicely balanced, handles well in different climates, especially if you gig. You know, I've played outdoors and in bars and in parties, and I've played in rainy days and really dry, humid days like in Arizona. This thing has lasted and stood the test of time, and you won't regret it. Taylor guitars are the way to go. And Taylor, if you're watching, Taylor Guitars, I am looking for work. So I'd love to come work, maybe do some marketing for you or something. So once again, Taylor Guitars, the Taylor 310. And don't forget to check out, I've also got a variety of songs for sale on CD Baby. On my books, Small. That might even be backwards, and my screen is backwards. And Breathe, John Lennon, Conspiracy to Murder. And they're both easy reads, about 15 chapters, 115 pages apiece. I'll have another murder book coming out next year called, well, we'll leave the name of it secret. So what else can I play here for? Late at night with the stars up in the sky, and the moon begins to glow. Don't you cry, 'cause I'll be by your side from now and forevermore. There you have it. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions about the guitar or buying a Taylor, where to get one, go to Taylor.com. They've got distributors on their website, and you won't regret it. I've never heard anything bad about Taylor Guitars. I'm sure they've got a lemon or two out there, but rare. And I'm hoping one day to get one of their T5s or their acoustic electrics to do more of the jazz stuff, because I'm really into that. Late at night, the stars up in the sky. So there you have it. Peace and love. PTPOP here. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. The channel is called PTPOP. I usually release new videos Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. More or less a variety of grab bag of things. You know, comedy, commentary, music, guitar lessons, video lessons, and analysis of different technical equipment, microphones, drones, audio and video equipment. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great night and take care. Have a good holiday season. Here, let's do a Hard Day's Night. What's it? Can I do any Beatles? I already did a Beatles. I did 2 Beatles songs, so. Auf Wiedersehen, YouTubers. Hail Wodziewski. Good night. Thanks for watching.